wonderful ovation for him. Thank you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen of the press. Good afternoon, gentlemen of the press. Good afternoon, Nigerians. Good afternoon, grand community. Good afternoon, the poor masses of Nigeria. I am not here on my own accord to deliver this speech. I am here to represent the poor, dying masses of Nigeria. The masses of Nigeria have sent me those who don't have the voice, those who cannot face the camera and appear on our screens. They have sent me. My brothers who have passed on, CEOs like me, have sent me. Subscribers of grants in Nigeria have sent me. And here and now, we invited our grant handlers so that I can cry before them, so that our government can hear us, so that the international community can hear their voice. I am here to amplify the voice of the voiceless. My simple question, or our simple question, is that when are you grant handlers going to give us this money? This is our question. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, next week, this week, next month, early next month. By the grace of God, the month will not end, and we have counted 10 years. This is what the grant community have decided to send me to speak on their behalf. Who am I? I am the Okada man who subscribed to grant community. Who am I? I am the poor farmer who have used his money for fertilizer to subscribe for grant. Who am I? I am that man that has been sent away because of rent. I cannot afford my rent. Who am I? I am that dying man in the hospital who don't have money for treatment, but took my last money to subscribe so that I can be flown abroad for treatment. Who am I? I am that man that yesterday slept without garri, but I subscribed to one or two of this grant. Who am I? I am that depressed, perplexed, and oppressed man who cannot come out because of debt. Microfinance banks have taken over my money. Those I am owing have taken over my house. Who will help me out? I've been crying, but nobody can carry this cry. And I've decided to send Reverend Moses from Abuja to ask the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu GCFR, what have I done to you? Mr. President, what have we the poor masses done? You said you were here so that we can breathe. But as it is, we are not breathing, we are choking. The poor masses have asked me to tell you and to ask you, we voted you in with that mandate to allow us to breathe. This air that is blowing, I know you don't have this air. This air of poverty this era of oppression, this era of insecurity, my president, Commander-in-Chief, THIER, what have we done to you? The grant donors saw this pain, have decided to release some grants so that we can rest. Is it that the grant have not arrived in Nigeria? Which country is the grant up to so that we can follow it up? But if the grants have arrived in Nigeria safely, Baba, Tinubu, the Senate President, the Speakers of the House of Rep, the Federal Executive Council, must we go on the street begging before you answer us? I am calling on behalf of Grand Community. The poor is over there. Baba, release this grant so that we can rest. We are tired of the stories our grand handlers have been telling us. And I believe the grand handlers themselves, they are tired of the stories they are telling us. The lies in Grand Community has become exhausted. When you tell some of them or ask some of them, where are we? They say, very soon. Very soon. Soon, very soon. And the soon is not ending. The true definition of soon is no longer soon. Baba Tinubu, and before these cameras, I know you will get this story. What have Nigerians done to you, sir? You are the father of the rich and you are the father of the poor, which I represent. And I believe they've come into my ears. Some of the psychophants on your corridors will not tell you what I'm telling you. But the Grand Community, in their 1 kobo, all of them seated here have contributed 1 kobo, and have asked me to stand by the camera to beg you, sir. We are dying. Why you say we should leave? We are begging you and all the people that are concerned. Tell these grand handlers that are said they will give us this money. That is why we invite them. If the money is given to them and they have refused to give to us, Nigerians and the world will hear from them. We are not here to punish anybody. We are not here to insult your government, sir. We are here to praise your government. We are just demanding for that fresh air so that we can breathe. Let the grand handlers tell us, what have we done? Where are we? What is the procedures which we have subscribed? As I'm talking to you now, sir, Mr. President, there are still subscriptions going on. Slot selling is going on unabated in Nigeria. More mobilization for people to subscribe is going on. Some of the coordinators who are still mobilizing for subscription are seated here. And we don't have a hope for when this money will come out. I don't know whether they are lying. If they are lying, they are all here. There's another section called stakeholders, who are more than an elephant. Where will you catch? The elephant is too big. If you try to catch an elephant by the buttocks, you will not catch him because you cannot. Your hand cannot get through. We are calling on you, Mr. President. There is nobody in Nigeria you do not know. These are stakeholders. We are begging stakeholders to answer us. They have received subscriptions in billions. And up to today, you cannot identify the stakeholders. Who are they? Where are they? What are their faces? We don't know. The coordinators have refused to disclose their name. I'm addressing the press, and I'm also addressing the security apparatus in Nigeria. I know my letter is before the DSS, and they are aware before the Commissioner of Police. We don't know these people called stakeholders. They know themselves. But we have paid subscriptions running to billions into their hands. And up to today, no identity, no office. We cannot address them on anything. You cannot call their name. Baba Ahmed Bola Tinubu, we are behind you to feature out these stakeholders that are not identified. And we pray that God will give us the wisdom to hand over this cake that is sent outside the country for us. God bless you. Long live Federal Republic of Nigeria. Long live Grand Community. Long live Grand Community Decide Movement. I appreciate all of you and the members of the press. God bless you, sirs.
Can we give another clap to Grand Community? Done so much justice to the address. Now, just briefly, if you look behind you on the walls, these are the faces of those who have exited to the great beyond. And okay, just some of them. And these were struggles in the fight, but today are no more. And all of us are still here, seated, expecting what appears to be like a miracle, what has been promised. But it appears like you are grabbing an illusion. A promise made, but the faces of those who collected billions from you, majority of them are not even here. But by the mercies of our God, that which has been promised would not be let go. So let us stand together as one force and one moment of unity that we can address this holistically. And these are some of the faces we are going to hear their voices this morning. And the next person we're going to call right here is the head of the Grand Handler, Bishop Elumama, to give us an address. Can we give a round of applause for him as he stands to give us this address? Thank you very much.
Once more, praise the Lord. You're welcome in Jesus' name. Hello? Another man just met me while we were snapping picture here and said to me, we didn't come here to snap picture. We come here to collect money. Can somebody raise up your hand?
But I laugh because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. I didn't want to
reply him because he was in the right way. And people say, who would they slap the way they slap elephant and they will not shout? But I want to say here that a living dog is better than a dead lion. You see these names here? When I came in, I said this is just about 10% of people that died. No any Tepecon CEO is here. Not even one. Including our Mama Rita, who is the foundation of all and all we're doing here. I will not take much of your time. I stand as the chairman of the Grand Handlers based on my time I started Grant and my position as the first national and recognized organization in Nigeria with inaugurations everywhere, both south, south, east, and even the Federal Capital Territory, with the concept of the DSS, the police, and all security agencies in this country. I stand to represent them as a Grant Handler. In the year 2014, because I'm going to do a flashback history of Grant, which some of you may not know. We had a man called Donald Olukeide, who was worshiping in Good Tidings Church, one of our big church in the city. And I also had a man called Bishop Adams. He's now late. I went to bury him. His picture is supposed to be also at Amambede in Ijikoka local government of Anambra State. He spearheaded the first grant, and I was a national coordinator to him. He did his best to make sure that that grant was disbursed. And from that time, which we call Kingdom Wealth, we moved to what we call National Leaders Forum. But before we know it, Donald looked promised that everything is ready, and we all went for whatever thing that was expected to be done. We are jubilating that grant is about to be released. All of a sudden, it became a mirage. The more we come closer, the more it runs far. A time came, a court case came up after his property was confiscated by the security agencies. I was even among them that was arrested. And when we cleared ourselves there, we were all released. Until today, we have not heard anything about that grant, which later became what we know as SEM, Social Exchange Market. From SEM, we graduated to SEMI, and it was in that SEMI that almost every person there were arrested. I was also included among the people that were arrested. I was the one who wrote a defense letter for almost every person before we were released. So we believe that that grant should be disbursed to us. From every indication, it was very clear that the money was available. But all of a sudden, Donald Olukede disappeared on the air. Until today, he's nowhere to be found. I've made every effort to see how I can contact him, but all proved abortive. When we saw that there's shame on us and that Nigerians are hungry and crying, we gathered all the national coordinators at that time and formed what we call National Coordinators Forum, which we appointed our dear Bishop Gideon Carter as the chairman. As we appointed him, we are pursuing that same money at all costs, moving from one place to another place before the issue of Amen came up. And from there, it looks as if the child is about to deliver. Before you know it, there was abortion. We gather ourselves again. That was what metamorphosed to the less privileged empowerment coordinators network. Because without zeal to see that the shame is covered, for no one believed that SEM will not disburse money. And we started again a journey. The less privileged empowerment coordinators network and engaged a man who was introduced to us by name Professor Godwin Isong. And Isong agreed that he's going to give us a grant. The engagement was on 18 December 2019. And this is the letter of engagement which was accepted by Isong, and the journey started. He actually demanded we should receive 200,000 naira from each person who wants to be a member, but I stood against it. I said, 100,000 will be enough to run the business. And everyone around me agreed, because in Tepecom I was duly elected as the president of Tepecom in Nigeria. We subscribed under 100,000 naira. Whoever that goes beyond that was doing it at his own risk. I stand here as the president of Tepecom to officially tell you that what we agreed was 100,000 naira. And if anyone goes You have a very
right to ask the person
return. But that is not the matter now.
as we engage in song,
We begin
to battle. He said we should get off
for him, got office for him. Anything he told us to do, we do. We bought car for him.
every money demanded, we give to him. It may be possible that they don't know
I was keeping record
of
of every
every movement we are making. Because in my mind, I suspected that the time will come when something like this
we come to manifest. And I kept
my records.
it.
They came at Petrus Hotel.
When he gathered all the national coordinators under TEPECOM and told us that the money is available. How do I know? Because he gave us a form to feel that he is going to give us 1 billion naira per each person. I stood against it as the president of TEPECOM based on the figure he gave us that arrived. It was a problem also in Petrus Hotel, Area 11, and he got angry. As a result of this anger, we demanded that most want to know from where the grant come from, so that we can get the original figure. I was the one who profiled the trade grant document. The first one, after the first one, he said he need more. I used my personal money to do that, even a magazine. So I can tell
the details that
other person may know. So we're expecting 3 grants through Professor Isong. Unfortunately, it was one he agreed that was ready. Where are the other 2? Nobody knows. I shouted on top of my voice. AIT covered our gathering. As a result of that, when I saw that the water is about to swallow me and that the heat
is about to melt me down,
and the weight
want to make me to more dwarf.
what I am now, I came to Madla Church and gathered on emergency all the national coordinators without telling them the agenda of the meeting. And I spoke on the topic, as it has been my culture that every gathering I must preach. And that was the day I preached. If there is nothing to hide, there is nothing to fear. And I start today to repeat it, that if there is nothing to hide, there is nothing to fear. I came
all the way from Enugu because I had been
in Enugu State because my son have not been feeling fine for almost 2 years now. But because of this particular program and the need of this program, by the help of our dear president, who helped me to be here, I find myself here to make some certain things that are not known, well explanatory. By the mercy of God, I got where the grant come from, which I'm having here. And the grant came from Resources Development Fund, Singapore, with amount $700 million. I'm having it here. It's possible they may not know that I have it, but God has been helping me.
Let's appreciate that.
I started asking for the rest of
Grant, which I profiled, but that one has gone on oblivion. But what
of this particular one.
give us the grant? And that was how we have been trembled. Because
of the grant of
TEPECOM, I was opportunity to know almost all the officers in first headquarters. There is no place in first headquarters I did not go. And next time,
that with the help of some of my
executives,
we wrote
with the help of some of my executives, able to write a petition even to the IG. Because if you shoot the first arrow, it falls on the wood. You shoot another arrow, it falls on the wood. Is the arrow meant for the wood? So I did everything virtually with my dear Sanctuary World President in person of Apostle Ken Wakama and Bishop Oka and some other people to make sure that we get this grant. Delivery continue until the sparring date for the contract was almost very close. I was having sleepless nights. What do I do? How do I get things done? Who did this thing to us? I woke up after prayer and called some of the executive and invited Professor Godwin, his son, our consultant. And technically and diplomatically, I made him to write a letter of renewal that even if the time the contract was scheduled expire, if that was the target, let him know that this money must be paid. And this is the letter of renewal, signed by us and signed by him. It is open for verification, and that is why I'm bringing these documents. Well, I don't pray that it should become a legal issue, but if it be, I stand tall to tell you, I'll defend it to the end. Because every commitment financially that was made, I kept the record. I kept the record of every financial commitment I've made, that TEPECOM have made. So whatever thing I'm saying here, I'm saying to behalf of TEPECOM. Nothing can be denied. All that we raised in 100,000 plus other little commitment we are giving to him. I saw in a write-up where somebody said Bishop Elumama have looted TEPECOM money, and I laugh. Because if you don't know where and how they bury a man, you begin to dig it from the ground, from the leg. And that was why when I was called by the president of Grand Community Decide movement, I was happy. Somebody tell me, don't come here, it is very risky. I said, man born of woman is born, wants to die and go. But what matters is not what kill you, but where you are going. So everything I speak here today is documented. When I saw what was about to happen also, technically and diplomatically again, I brought him back. And on December 8, 2022, he was made to publicize that he has not given us grant, because there was a rumor everywhere that Elomama and their schools have confiscated the money given to them. Not 10 kobo was given to us. So you have to put it in Vanguard newspaper, which you can verify. Page 25, year 2022, that was where he declared that no money had been given to me and no money had been given to any executives. And that Vanguard paper is kept for recording. That's why I say, when it comes to litigation, we tell ourselves the truth. I want to stand here to let you know that TEPECOM money has not been given to TEPECOM, and that no any group of people, including myself, that gather this money and share it among ourselves. The vision we had, as the name entails, is the less privileged empowerment coordinators network. We did not collect to eat, we collect to give. So anytime he gives us from what he have said, we will receive from him. But a time is coming that if he failed to give us, we will do what is needful And that time is soonest.
From now. So please, I want to encourage us here.
That is not the fault of Elomama or the executives. I've done my best as a president of TEPECOM in Nigeria. But the more I come closer, the more it becomes a mirage. I want to take this time to beg the federal government of Nigeria, just like my president have said, and all the people that I call the security agents in this country, that is a time to look for people who have collected money, our grant, and have not given it to us. I asked myself a question one day when I was so much worried. I told somebody, do I make a press conference meeting and ask the world, is Nigeria under course? Is it Nigeria under course that grant can be shared in Kenya, shared in South Africa, shared in China, shared in Ghana? We call Ghana before Ghana must go. Now it is Nigeria must go.
Who did this to us? Is it the grand handler
or the system? Who did this to us? I am so happy with this organization because many
things that are hidden will be unveiled
soon. And wherever going with his team, I will follow enough. My heart receive nothing, but when it comes to time, that 3 times
is 9 and only 3
can divide it. That time we will know who is who. God bless
you. I will take much of your time. It shall end in presence. That devil from God will not survive. Testimony still made our birthright.
God bless you.